Did you get my Snapchat today?
What was your Snapchat?
Took a picture of it.
What's up, everybody? It's Bucked Up, Possible Entertainment's Post-Game Bucks podcast. I'm your host, Nick Schneider, alongside John Monk. Coming at you live, and by live I mean the day after every Bucks game, bringing you our thoughts and analysis that you weren't asking for. We're also available on iTunes, Google Play, Soundcloud, Pocketcast, and Audioboom.
Big one.
You can follow me on Twitter at P_N_Schneider, at JohnMonk1 for John over here. And anything else we have to, subscribe to the channel, obviously. Like the video.
If you like it.
If you like it. If you don't, like it anyway. And comment. And share it with your friends anyway. In fact, what I'd like to do is, if you don't like this video at all, I'm okay with you never thinking about us or watching again as long as you share it with 5 friends. If you can share this with 5 friends, then you're off the hook. You don't have to even think about us ever again. But you have to share it with 5 friends. That's 5. Count them, 5.
I think that's fair.
Now, big ol' loss to the Charlotte Hornets tonight. Bucks. Final
Tough
score,
one.
John?
126 to 121.
Hornets win.
Big.
Now,
big, a lot of scoring.
there are some problems. There are some things that are concerning. But at the end of the day, it was a much better performance than the one against the Thunder.
Oh, you can live with tonight's loss.
You can absolutely live with tonight's loss. It doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I don't feel good, but you can definitely
Yeah.
feel good about
I'm
it.
confident
Good things.
going into Friday against the Pistons.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a good one.
Cover up some things on defense. You hope that somebody doesn't break out like Malik Monk did tonight, and you should be fine. And if Giannis can play up to his standard that he set this season.
Worst game of the year for Giannis tonight.
Yeah, that was an interesting point of the game, is that Giannis had not even a bad night, just an inefficient night, which is weird for him, and a night where he didn't put up the numbers he usually does. But a lot of that was due to foul trouble, which we'll get into.
A lot of it, yeah.
But overall, going into the game, what were your thoughts, John?
Going into the game?
Yeah, going into it.
A little bit scared, a little bit worried,
Were you
excited.
Because I assumed after the Thunder game that was a fluke. That wasn't going to ever happen again.
I wanted to see us coming out firing, coming out strong like we did. We came out very good, I thought. First quarter, very good quarter.
Yeah, we played great in the first quarter, including Giannis.
Yes, he did. But then the fouls came. But yeah. Oh, I was a little nervous, but before every game anyway.
Yeah, for sure. My thoughts mostly were leaning towards not would it be competitive, because obviously it would be much more competitive than the Thunder game. The Thunder and the Hornets are totally different teams. But were some of those holes that we saw in the action last night, Tuesday night, going to carry over into this game? And
they did not. Really.
Well, some of them.
Some not nearly
defensive issues carried over. And I think Giannis has been on the downtrend lately with his playing. It's been great every night, but not as great as it was in the beginning. So maybe now we start thinking that maybe 30-point per game Giannis isn't really the Giannis we're going to be seeing every night. We don't know. But he has been on the downtrend.
28 plus every game until tonight. So
right.
Still tough to say.
So yeah, overall though, I think it was a solid outing, a tough loss, but a loss that you can totally live with.
Yeah, we fought until the last second.
Yeah,
which is
absolutely.
what I loved.
Yep.
There's always a window. Even we were down, I think 11, 13 at points, and we always came back to within 5 at one point, or we were right there with a minute left.
Oh, for sure. The biggest story of the game is, I think, a Khris Middleton bounce back.
A huge night. Thank God for that.
And, a lot of people said after the Hawks game, oh, Khris Middleton's back.
Yep.
After that great second half. But we were very clear that we were not on that train. He still seemed over-aggressive and stuff. Tonight was a vintage Khris Middleton night.
Yep.
Vintage. This is what Khris Middleton is in my mind.
Yep.
And hopefully he can continue that for the rest of the season.
This is actually a better middle. He won't score 40 every night.
Yeah, it's true, actually. It was an above-average Middleton night.
So he goes from pretty awful, actually, Middleton, to
But you know what, though? You know what? If Middleton is forced to be a number one option like he is tonight, that is the kind of guy he normally would be.
When Giannis ain't hitting his shots or ain't doing his thing,
and Brogdon, I think, played very well again. We had a very good performance by everyone other than Giannis, I think, and that was kind of telling. And that's a game that we win if Malik Monk doesn't have 16 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and when we say Giannis wasn't good of a game, he still did a lot of good things. He just didn't shoot
absolutely.
the ball very good.
Everything is relative that we talk about, right? So when we say Giannis didn't have a good game, he didn't have a Johnny O'Brien bad game where he doesn't do anything on the court. Yeah. But relative to what Giannis is and what he has done,
what we have to expect,
what we have to expect out of a top 5 player in the league, it was a poor effort.
Yes, it was.
But I don't believe that that's the norm now.
No, NBA, it's going to happen. 82 games, you're going to get nights like that.
Absolutely, you're going to get 10+ nights like this. But overall, if this is Giannis at his worst, and let's all hope that it is, which I'm assuming that it is.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, a star is still
you can live with it because that's a game that we would have won if it wasn't for a great performance by a player that we weren't expecting to have a great performance in the fourth quarter. You couldn't game plan for it.
No,
it just happened and we couldn't stop it, and that's I have no problem with that happening.
Yep.
Malik Monk played great. He was shooting the lights out. Yep, and he's what killed us, and that's totally fine.
I'm fine with it,
was a big takeaway.
Especially this early.
Can you give me Brogdon's stat line?
It was good. Let's see what it was here. 37 minutes. I like that. 20 points.
Love it.
9 of 16 shooting. 2 for 4, 3 from deep.
Yep.
It's all very
good. It's exactly what I want from Malcolm Brogdon every night.
1 rebound, which is fine, but then 4 assists. Well, 1 rebound.
Now we'll go over what we talked about last episode. Last episode, what was one of our complaints, or my complaint specifically, is Brogdon only played 20 minutes that game.
Oh, I agree with you.
In a game like that, he needs to be playing not the entire game, but as much as Giannis and Khris Middleton.
The only
defense, he's the third option.
Because on back-to-back nights in which Brogdon showed, he's not quite to the NBA minute level.
Stamina, his levels aren't where we would like them to be.
That's the only thing I can see, but we definitely need it. But that would be talking about that the other night.
But I like his usage and his minutes tonight. Is my point.
Tonight was huge.
Jason Kidd needs to realize that Malcolm Brogdon is your third best player on the court right now, which is crazy to say, by the way, after last year. And it's weird how normal it feels now that Malcolm Brogdon is the third best player on the court, but it's cool.
Right now he is, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and I think it'll last the whole season. I think Malcolm Brogdon's a 15-plus per game scorer in this game.
Great ball player.
He's a great ball player now. His handle's great. He had some dumb turnovers at the end of the game tonight.
It seems like he has one dumb turnover every game.
It does seem like that, doesn't it? But I'll take that for increased
what he
scoring,
does, yeah.
And what he does for offense.
9 to 16 shooting, creating shots for others. I mean, he's
absolutely, and that also helped his ball movement. You could tell when Khris Middleton is engaged and Brogdon is playing as much as he does. The ball movement is so much better than when it's a lineup of Deli Mirza, Rashad Vaughn, and whoever else. It's so much better. And John Henson tonight was very active. How many assists did he end up with?
6, yeah.
6 assists,
most of them were in the first half. Great start.
I want to say I read this as a tweet, and I apologize for not crediting who tweeted it out. But I want to say that is tied for his career best. Is 6 assists, and I don't think he's had more than 4 since the 2012 season.
Well, I like what Henson here. 4 offensive rebounds. Tip outs mainly.
Yeah, really. How did you rebounding total?
10 rebounds.
Which is exactly what we need.
Yeah.
With Moose out, we need John Henson to get a double-double every game.
But
did he score 10 points?
No, I don't think so. 6. Okay. 4 points.
Okay. So the scoring needs to be better, but that'll happen when Giannis is on the court more.
That's not quite his role either, Henson.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. But overall, I think it's a really solid game from Henson. If we can get that night in, night out while Moose is out, that's a huge boon. That's a huge boon. Speaking of the other center position, Thon Maker, what did you make of his game tonight?
I think he did shoot a little bit more if it seemed like it. Let's see. No, definitely not, actually. 2 for 4, yeah, he's still open on threes. He's got to shoot. He's got to shoot the ball.
Yeah.
He shot 2 for 4, so he's got to shoot.
Absolutely. How many minutes did he play, though? Is the real
18,
okay.
Which is where he's going to be at.
Where he's been at.
He's going to be around 20 every game, it seems like.
It does seem like that.
That's just...
Now...
But he's coming off the bench now, so...
Well, for this game to match up with Dwight, I don't know if that's a permanent thing or not. I still do like Thon to space the floor. But it does seem like, and we talked about this last week, that awareness, he's just not there yet. Times when he's cutting when he shouldn't be cutting. There are open lanes to cut, and he's not cutting. He has a wide open 3, and he's not taking it. He's passing the ball out. He has he has an option to dribble in, and he doesn't do it, even though he's shown that he can do that.
I know Marcus Johnson even touched on it at tonight's game about his cutting. He cut in the way of Giannis on a take once. I forgot what time of the game it was, but I remember Marcus even touched on that tonight.
Yeah, and that's a fascinating point. Is Jason Kidd has to sit down with these players in practice and be like, when Giannis is driving,
you got to let him
every
go.
single one of you, including Greg Monroe, including John Henson, needs to back the frick off. They need to be 10 feet out of the paint. The paint needs to be all of Giannis's. So that way, if they even want to pack the paint with 3 players, they don't have an excuse to. You know? Somebody is open somewhere.
And if they pack it in, you have wide open shooters around the
exactly.
3-point line. But.
Exactly. So that is something that I would like to see develop further along the year, because that is a real problem. Greg Monroe can't play with Giannis because of that reason, because Greg Monroe's game is to sit in the paint the entire game. Which is fine. It's his game. But he doesn't fit with Giannis. And similar to John Henson, but I think John Henson is better at the elbow. And we showed today that he can facilitate. And so stuff like that, is a better fit than a Greg Monroe whose game is back to the basket post-ups.
I think Moose is willing to change and do it.
He's shown that. Absolutely.
So I think he can definitely mold into it.
Yeah, absolutely. But we have to talk about it. We have to have communication about what the problems are.
Yeah.
Giannis, that wasn't his problem tonight, clearly. I think he was just taking a lot of jump shots, a lot of rush shots. It seemed like
fading way too much which is partly again foul trouble.
Sure, absolutely. He couldn't be aggressive when he wanted to be because the refs were calling everything, and I do think the refs did a great job tonight.
Oh, very fine.
I don't blame anything on the refs.
That was not at all roughing.
But I do believe that it did hinder his ability to be aggressive in the paint, which is his entire game.
Mm-hmm. Which is partly on Giannis.
Oh, it's almost all on.
Yeah, so.
You take this game and you learn from it.
Yeah, it's still very early. So, but yeah, it's
and this is maybe the only loss of the Bucks season so far where we don't benefit from more consistent scoring. I think another ball in someone's hands actually clogs things up a little bit. So, for everyone who gets annoyed with us talking about Bledsoe talk, here's your argument against it: is if Middleton is back and Brogdon is playing great, here's your argument against it.
And Henson. Delly's still on the
Tyson Chandler's not going to pass the ball like Henson did tonight.
No.
And I don't know if Henson's going to pass the ball like he did tonight ever again. But
time will tell.
Time will tell. Exactly. Who else? Tony Snell, I think, played well.
He is shooting good. Yes, holy cow, 6 or 7 shooting. 17 points, 5 for 6 from deep.
The kid's crazy efficient. But mostly because he's the 4th option. In a starting lineup with Giannis, Chris Middleton, and Malcolm Brogdon, if you're going to lean off someone, it's going to be Tony Snell and Thon Maker. Thon already gets 5 feet every shot he takes.
Yeah.
But Tony Snell is also helping from that, and I think it shows because he's taking wide open shots mostly. He did have a nice fadeaway jumper in the game today that he hit. I was very impressed. Step back, actually. I shouldn't say fadeaway. It was a step back. That was very nice. Sterling Brown-esque.
Mirza had a pretty well game.
And Mirza had a good game, too, but we're not going to talk about Mirza because...
Oh, he shot well, 4 for 6 from deep.
Yeah, absolutely. He played really well, but
he could shoot in like that.
Let's do it 2 nights in a row.
So far, he's playing better this year than last year.
I agree with you. If he can keep up this performance, I'm not even going to hate him at the end of the year. Oh. I've actually kind of switched I've got to hate someone on every team, right? Yeah. Every Bucks team, there's someone I have to hate.
But Delly this year?
Last year was Mirza, and this year it's Delly.
So far, I love Delly. I love it.
What do you love about him?
They're you got to love the Bucks.
You gotta love his grit, right? And his defense.
I love his defense, yeah.
And his ability to play pick and roll with Giannis. But I think Brogdon has shown that he can play pick and roll really well with Giannis. And Giannis off ball with Brogdon with the ball is fun to watch, man. It's really fun. Giannis is such a great cutter. But yeah, last year, the things that gave Delly the praise that he got, if there was any, was his ability to play pick and roll with Giannis, which Brogdon already does better. And his defense, which Brogdon, I think, does better.
Honestly,
so, what is his role? He's just a worse Brogdon coming off the bench? Because I'd rather have Brogdon coming off the bench and maybe some other point guard that we've talked about to death.
Not going to name names.
And even if that's not true, when his contract is up, I don't think he's somebody that we want to bring back.
Delly?
In 2 years, yeah.
Yeah, 2 years.
I mean,
he signed a 4-year deal, right?
Was it a 4-year deal?
Was it? I think.
Holy mackerel. It might have been a 4-year deal. We don't have that kind of information on us right now. We're not professionals.
No.
But the point is that Delly needs to be aware of his role, and we talk about awareness a lot. and when Delhi is trying to create, and he didn't do this at all tonight, mostly because Giannis was barely on the court. When Delhi is trying to create and Giannis wants to be the one creating, that can't happen. Like it's happened 2 games so far this season, and he can't sit up top and dribble the ball.
Yeah, that's
he's not Chris Paul.
biggest.
He's not Chris Paul, and that works great for Chris Paul because Chris Paul sees the court unlike anyone else.
Yeah,
Dellavedova sees the floor exactly the same as DeAndre Liggins does.
Which I would have liked to see more minutes by Liggins tonight too.
It's weird the way he's siphoning off 2 guard minutes. It's very strange.
I thought Liggins, whenever he's on the
and
court,
he can play the 3 guard, I think too, and he does play very hard defense.
Yeah.
And he shot 1 for 2 from deep.
He has good hands. Yeah, he's good. I mean, I think he's a pretty good, darn good defensive player.
He's a really good defensive player. The argument is always offensively, what do you lose? But lately, he's been totally fine.
Every time I see him on the
court,
court, I have
lost
nothing.
anything by putting Liggins on the court, and actually, he's shown a knack for creating plays.
Mm-hmm.
There were a couple of transition buckets that he was over-aggressive and tried to make something out of nothing, which I think is something you just sit down with a guy and you tell him that's not acceptable, and it's over with. As far as shooting, he's been fine, and I'm sure he'll regress to his mean, but so far he's not hurt anybody. Ride him out until it's over.
That's what I would.
Until you're ready to start playing Sterling.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I want to see more Liggins.
Absolutely.
6 minutes, all in the first half tonight, I believe.
Absolutely. And those were good minutes.
Yeah, that's it.
What was his plus minus?
I don't have that on.
Ah, shoot. That's what I get for printing off the stats. But overall, I think it was actually a totally solid game. We haven't talked about Middleton a whole lot yet, but Middleton was great tonight. Middleton was terrific. That was the Middleton I remember and the Middleton we need to have on the court.
Middleton we remember, and the above average.
It was above average performance, but the way he played the game was exactly how Khris Middleton is used to playing the game. Not this over-aggressive nonsense, not this 3 for 13 shooting nonsense, taking bad shots early in the shot clock. Middleton was smarter tonight, and that's what I liked most about his game.
Some of his shots were, again, off balance, but that's Middleton shots a lot of times, too.
It's Middleton shots a lot of the time, and Middleton is always trying to draw a foul.
Yeah.
And that's what I like so much about him. He's a 92% free throw shooter who likes to draw fouls.
He got to the line decent amount.
A lot, especially at the end of the game, which is fair.
8 for 10, yeah.
Yeah, which is where I want him to be every night, considering he's such a great free throw shooter.
That's where I'd like to see Giannis getting 10 free throws. He only had 4 tonight.
Yeah, Giannis needs to start shooting 10 free throws tonight as well, especially if he's going to be the star that he is. But again, this is an off night for Giannis. I don't think we can look at any of these stats and be like, wow, look how bad Giannis is.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Because
I'm not saying that.
This isn't the average.
No.
This is the low point of the season so far.
This is one of his worst games probably of the season.
In the last 2 years. This is one of his worst games in the last 2 years. And so I don't think there's a lot to take away from it even. Like, I don't even think that there's a lot.
It's going to happen.
Exactly. I don't think it's...
You don't know what games are going to happen, but they're going to happen from time to time in the NBA.
And you're going to see on Bucks Twitter a lot of people complaining about the performance, and that's totally valid. And you're going to go to BehindTheBucks.com tomorrow, and you're going to read the grades of all the players.
Yeah.
Khris Middleton will get an A, and Giannis will get a D+ or a C-. And you'll be like, man, Giannis was bad last night.
Oh, yeah.
But it's all relative. Because Giannis was important to the team when he was on the court. He just couldn't stay on the court. And he was inefficient shooting.
Yep.
But when he was playing like his normal aggressive self, he was great still. So it's not like it doesn't mean anything negative for Giannis.
No, he was not at all a liability out there in the
court.
court.
Not at all. No, certainly not.
He never is.
No, he's certainly not. And so I don't think there's a lot to take away from his bad performance.
No, I'm not at all worried about it.
And I hope that the Bucks community doesn't go crazy over the bad
shouldn't.
performance. You're right. They shouldn't.
I think they know Giannis good enough, and nights like this will happen, and you just got to move on.
Absolutely.
And Giannis definitely knows that. We know that. You know he's going to be ready to go Friday night.
I thought he'd be roaring to go tonight.
I kind of would too, but he did do literally everything Tuesday night.
Yep. No, yeah, so. I think it's fair. But I think that Pistons,
they'll be
Tobias Harris or John Lure or whoever they throw out at Giannis shouldn't have any problem. Giannis shouldn't have any problem getting to the rack and doing whatever he needs to do. So yeah, I'm not worried. Hornets side, what stood out to you there?
Well, obviously Monk in the fourth quarter, but I think Kemba Walker had another good game.
Kemba Walker's always good. I can't think of a game where we played the Hornets that he was bad in. He's just a solid player.
Generally, yeah, when you get good players, that's who I'm going to talk about.
Right, I mean, there's no point in doing that.
So,
I'm not as in-depth on the knowledge of the Hornets to be able to talk about
not
why Job didn't play tonight.
Yeah. We played the Hornets a week ago here Monday night.
And he played great, but they were also missing Michael Carter-Williams
Zeller.
and Jobi's a 4, kind of player. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
Yeah.
And also Michael Carter-Williams.
Again tonight.
Right.
Kidd-Gilchrist only played 7 minutes again tonight.
Well, he played only the first half,
yeah.
and they said he was under the weather. Do we know why he sat the first game? It was a funeral or something, right? Someone died in his family? Family issues of some kind?
I remember listening.
I don't want to assume anything, but there were family issues of some kind.
It wasn't an injury, really. It was just...
No, and I wonder if that's still hanging on him. And you feel bad for the guy if it is like, I can't play right now, I'm thinking too hard about what's going on. Mm-hmm. And that sucks. You feel bad for the guy. But other than that, everyone else kind of stepped up. How'd Jeremy Lamb play? Because I was surprised at how well he was playing. 16
points, 5 for 11 shooting.
Yeah, he was hitting a lot of shots that I didn't know Jeremy Lamb could hit. And Malik Monk... you just kind of wrote it off as 16-point fourth quarter. Everyone's going to be talking about it anyway, but it is really kind of a special game for him. That was really great. He won. He went out and won that game for the Hornets.
Yeah, Monk was definitely the factor tonight.
Yeah, it was really impressive, actually. Yeah. I was really impressed.
I've seen him do spurts of it in Kentucky, the little bit of college basketball I watch. But
yeah.
And I did not think that would at all happen his rookie year.
I thought that didn't... Now, call me an idiot, please, if I'm wrong about this, but didn't he struggle from the three-point line in college? Not struggle, but he wasn't... Or no, I'm wrong. We're thinking of De'Aaron Fox, who we played with.
Yeah, Fox struggled.
That's what I'm thinking of.
I think Monk was a good shooter.
Yeah, Monk was a great shooter, and that's why you paired him with De'Aaron Fox.
But I don't watch much college at all.
I couldn't care less about college basketball. I'll watch the Badgers. They play Stout, I think, on Sunday, which is...
Will you Stout?
It is like scrimmage them or whatever.
That should be a tough one.
Tough matchup for our Badgers. But yeah, I couldn't care less about...
I love it. Love the sport. Just don't have...
Basketball's great, but I would rather see the greatest in the world doing it compared to second class, you know? That's why I'm going to watch like maybe 5 G League games this year.
Yeah, love my herd.
Love my herd. What's up, everybody? It's your neighborhood herd podcast.
Not talking about Colin Cowherd, the herd, either.
Could we do a herd podcast? We should do a herd podcast.
The Wisconsin herd, yeah.
We should do a podcast about Colin Cowherd's The Herd.
I do like listening to The Herd as well.
We could take everything he says and argue the opposite point.
What if we agree with him for some odd reason?
We can't agree with him on anything.
I do agree with him once in a while.
Yeah. Anyways.
You could talk about it.
We could talk about it. Anyways. Overall, I think the Hornets just outshot us in the fourth. Like, they were making great shots. They were...
Tough shots, too.
They were making tough shots. They were playing really well in the fourth, and that's what killed us. And I have no problem losing to a team where we both put 100% effort in, and they just played a little harder, and they played a little better, and they won.
Hit a couple more shots. No, tonight's a loss I can absolutely live with.
Oh, 100%.
Especially this early in the season. This is...
You betcha. You betcha. All right, so the only thing around the web that I want to talk about this week is Giannis Antetokounmpo's basketball obsession, an article on ESPN by Eric Neem, who everyone knows. Eric Neem's fantastic. He's very smart. Locked on Bucks is a much better podcast than this. If you don't listen to it already, go and do it. Eric Neem's great. And this article is great. And it's all about Giannis Antetokounmpo. John, you really like this article. Any thoughts on why people should go read it? It's just great. Go and support.
Very good article.
First of all, go and support local Milwaukee writers.
Yeah.
Like Eric Neem. And second of all, if you want the media to start covering the Milwaukee Bucks more, then you need to be driving traffic to stuff like this. When the Ringer puts up their posts about Giannis, you need to be going. Everyone needs to be going and reading it. Don't just read the headlines. Everyone needs to be reading this, commenting.
It doesn't
driving traffic to this stuff.
It doesn't take all that long to read it. Give it a go.
No, exactly. And like it's everyone complains about no one talking about the Bucks, but there's a reason for that because no one fucking cares about the Bucks. No one cares about them. So like the only way to do it is show them that there are people out there who do want them to start providing coverage on them. Everyone cares about what the Warriors are doing, so they're dominating headlines. Everyone cares what the Cavs are doing, so they're dominating headlines. Mm-hmm. If you want the Bucks to get national media attention, this is how you do it.
But the Bucks are kind of ours, pretty much here.
And it helps when it's a great article by a great dude, Eric Neem.
ESPN.
So yeah, that's kind of it for the show. General takeaways are that the Bucks are totally fine. This is any night is not doom and gloom.
No,
I don't even fret. We're fine. In fact, I have a lot more positive takeaways from this game than negative. And I think that going into Friday, we're set up for a big win. I think with the Cavs struggling, they lost to the Pacers tonight.
That's another thing. Yeah, we have a better record than the Cavs right now, which it so early doesn't really matter right now.
It really doesn't matter.
That just goes to show.
And we beat big teams like the Blazers aren't a big team, but they were a playoff team last year in the West. Yeah. And the Celtics, who are on top of the West right now, they're 5-2. So like
East.
Or the East, right? My bad. Like it's not a problem. We're beating the team. We're beating good teams.
We're
lost
showing
to
that
good teams. Compete, and we lost to some good teams.
We have one awful game so far.
Yeah, exactly, and it was bad.
Oh.
But I blame it more on coaching than anything else. Don't worry.
No,
do not worry. It's totally fine.
Tonight was a tough loss, but a step in the right direction.
Absolutely. We do need to fix the defense, though.
Yes.
It bothers me so much that we keep running the scheme, even though we give up 120 points to the Hornets. It bothers me so much.
That's not going to happen ever. I mean, Monk's not going to go off. Lamb ain't going to get his
100%. But I mean, we were tracking for 120 almost the whole game. There were a few 30-point quarters for both teams. I hate seeing it, especially when we have such great defensive talent like Tony Snell, Khris Middleton, Giannis, Brogdon. All really good defenders. Thon has really good defensive instincts, even though he doesn't always choose to use them. So that's why it hurts so much. And Henson, not a good defender, but because he's so undersized and he doesn't have the crazy physical talent that Thon has to make up for it. So it hurts to know that we have all this defensive talent and we're wasting it on this crazy scheme, this scheme that they think is going to take us to the top. And it was great in 2014 when we were second-ranked defense. Yeah. Now everyone knows how to play against it. And it hurts a little bit every time I see the same thing happen over and over and over again. A player drives in. A wing player overhelps to cut off the paint. Yep. And then there's a wide open corner three in the back of the 3-point line. And it happens every time. And with the scheme, there's no way around it. And
all it takes is one guy gets beat.
Right, and there is a safety back there, right? The other wing should be a safety, but if you're not Malcolm Brogdon, you don't have great instincts like he does. He's a great safety when you run this defense. It's tough to be able to pick off the pass, and if you don't pick off the pass, it's a wide open three.
Yeah, which is tough.
It's tough. John, what else have you been up to? It's been a day.
A day, yeah, and boy, I really don't do much now. Watch the Bucks.
Yeah, not a whole lot.
Well, the World Series ended tonight.
Do we know how it ended?
I want to say Houston won.
Put on the screen how it ended, because I have no idea. I am actually interested in that. Why didn't I check it? We were having too much fun here talking about the Bucks.
I did want to keep an eye on it. Obviously.
How didn't we even think about it?
It just popped in my head right now.
Yeah, I know. I didn't think about it until you said that. That's crazy. I'm a little angry with myself.
I think
I'm
Houston
a little
won.
PO'd.
I think Houston won.
I hope Houston won. Did you get a notification? I should have gotten a notification, right?
It's not still going on.
Did you go into extra innings? It started at what, 6 o'clock?
It's 11-ish.
Or did pregame start at 6 o'clock?
No. Well, I
do they do pregame for baseball?
I don't know. Yeah, that's another thing. I'm not a big baseball fanatic. I watched game one of the World Series, so very good game. I thought, every game was great.
This is people are saying this is the best World Series ever.
Which I could easily see.
And I was a big baseball fan growing up.
Same here.
But I don't know anymore about anything to do with baseball.
Love the Brewers.
So now I'm just kind of stuck in this position where I don't know what's happening.
Talking about the World Series.
Right. Everyone's talking about the World Series, and I just think in my corner, yeah, sure.
Go Astros.
Yeah, that Puig, he's got to start showing up, huh? Yeah, sure, okay. I want to get it back into baseball so bad.
I try to every year. I watch the Brewers here and there all the time. I love my Brewers.
I turn them on all the time, but then I end up doing other things because I watch for some reason my brain can't do it. I don't know what it is. I used to love baseball. Mm-hmm. Baseball was my favorite sport growing up. I loved baseball. I wanted to be a professional baseball player growing up. But something about it, I just stopped watching and I can't do it anymore.
See, I'd want to be a professional. Well, my goal, I want to be a professional football, basketball, baseball player.
And it's still possible.
Well, cripes, I have lots of work to do.
We have lots of talent. Just natural born talent. What are you, 6 foot, 190 pounds?
Yeah, actually.
Of pure athleticism.
Oh, I work out day in, day out. You know, if
sure.
you count.
If you count writing things on pieces of wood.
Yeah, that's.
If you count that, then you're in the best shape of all of them. I bet you do that exercise more than any player in the entire NFL.
Oh, I guarantee it. I think
I'm the best there is.
Yeah.
What was that from when you said that? I'm the best there is.
Well, I got it from the great movie Talladega Nights.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Talladega.
I'm the best there is.
It's a great movie.
I get up in the morning. And
I have that on Blu-ray. Why don't I watch that more?
It's a very good movie.
It's so good. It's so good. Sacha Baron Cohen is awesome in it. Is the bad guy? Who's never seen Highlander?
Yeah.
You've never seen Highlander?
I watched the Highlander movie. It sucked during the race.
That movie's so good. I gotta go and watch Talladega Nights. If you like Talladega Nights, tweet at us. Let us know your favorite quotes from Talladega Nights.
Talladega, yeah. All those good Step Brothers was a few years after that. Those was the same. John C. Reilly.
But Talladega Nights may be the best NASCAR movie of all time.
Which other ones
now,
are there?
time out. I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah,
there's a movie about Dale Earnhardt Jr. somewhere. Or no, Dale Earnhardt Sr., right? That's very... I remember watching when I was a kid on TNT and thinking, this is great. It could be awful. It probably is awful.
Have you ever played...
But I remember liking it back in the day.
Have you ever played a NASCAR video game like on your Game Boy?
Yeah, they suck.
Well, there's one I liked. I think it was Jeff Gordon. What's it? Tony Stewart.
Don't even get me started on Tony. Tony Stewart killed a guy.
I know.
He killed a guy, man. I can't ever think about NASCAR anymore because Tony Stewart killed a guy.
It happens.
He straight up murdered a man.
It happens.
I mean, like, it wasn't his fault. Like, if Tony Stewart, if you're listening, like, I understand, dude, it wasn't your fault. But
driving fast.
You murdered a man. He's dead because you ran him over. It's pretty freaking wild, man. But did you ever play that? Did you ever have? Because I never bought any of this crap because I didn't care enough. But everyone always had the one friend or the uncle or whatever who, and it was. I think my uncle did. Had the racing game, but then they had the wheel.
Oh, I never had that.
And the pedals. That is so cool. But now, in VR, imagine it. How crazy that would be.
Kids are just spoiled. No,
I know we're getting old just by saying that, like, because it's not true. Like, they're just advancing, just like everyone else. But, like, holy crap, they are spoiled.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine actually being able to just put on a headset and just drive a sports car? That's awesome. That's so cool. And we never got any of that crap. I mean, we got a lot of that crap.
We were spoiled.
Yeah. Well, do you remember they used to have, like, the rides that you would get in and they would shake and move and stuff just like you were in an actual roller coaster or whatever? That was the closest we ever got. And there was one, oh God, was this on a field trip that you and I went to, or was I at a different school at this point? It was at a museum, and you got in a plane, and you each had different jobs, right? And so one was a gunner or whatever, one was the pilot, and another person was the bomber or whatever the heck it was. And it actually moved around. So if you would do a barrel roll, the entire thing, and you would be strapped in, the entire thing would barrel roll, and it was the scariest experience my entire life. I never wanted to get in a plane after that. I didn't do that. Planes aren't that bad, but it was terrifying.
That would be fun.
That was awesome. I kind of want to get one for the studio.
I think it's right in our budget.
It cost?
It's got to be in the budget.
Right. It's right in the budget.
But I remember like bars, they used to have the arcade game where you got the shifter. You could race.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about. You can buy like that for like Gran Turismo or whatever and physically shift gears.
Yeah.
Because like when you're playing with controller or whatever, it should probably be on auto, right?
Yeah, I don't remember
because I don't even understand how you would shift gears on a controller. Yeah. But you can turn it on to work with a controller where you manually shift and use the brakes. That's crazy. That's so awesome, especially in VR. The cool thing about VR, and we'll talk about this more on the Gamescast, that we are producing soon, maybe, possibly, hopefully, with me and Luke.
You, Luke, yeah.
But we'll talk about, but like in VR, like the whole point of VR is to trick your brain into that this is actually happening. So that's why horror games are so awesome in VR, because like if it does its job and convinces you that it's real,
that'd be
it's
freaky.
An experience like none other.
That'd be scary.
And so driving, like a game like I think Drive Club, a PlayStation 4 exclusive, was going to be launch exclusive but was delayed, would have been, it is VR, and if you would go into that VR, and if it is convincing, oh man, do you know how cool that would be? Do you know how free, I would be into racing games, and I don't care about them at all.
That would be...
Think about it for a second, how awesome that is. You can just put on a headset, and your brain, it can convince your brain that you were in an actual race in an actual sports car in an actual car. That's crazy.
I've never had any of that VR stuff, so I don't know exactly.
I've never used it either. I would really love to. If anyone wants to send us a PlayStation VR, we'd be happy to do it. Please email us at possiblyentertainment@gmail.com.
We'll give you our feedback.
Yeah. But yeah, like, it's crazy, man. What we can do now, it's wild.
Amazing.
But yeah, the Bucks played well tonight, man.
Overall, yeah, I'm very, very happy with the performance.
Tough
loss, though.
Tough loss, but we can live with it. Yep. This has been Bucked Up. I'm your host, Nick Schneider. You can follow me on Twitter at PE_N_Schneider. That's your host, John Monk, the illustrious John Monk. I should get a nickname for you. I don't have one. Do you have any nicknames that you like?
Well, the first thing that came to mind is a Real Deal.
Okay, John. Okay, this is you.
But
I like the Real Deal.
I technically lost.
The Real Deal has a lot of history that no one knows about, but that's perfect.
Thanks.
So this has been Nick Schneider. Follow me at Twitter at PE_N_Schneider. That's John, the Real Deal Monk, at John Monk 1 on Twitter. And this has been Bucked Up. You can subscribe to the channel if you like the video. You can follow us on Twitter at PossiblyENT to get company updates. You can like the video. You can comment below, and we'll probably get back to you. You can go rate us on iTunes if you listen to the iTunes podcast or the Google Play or anything like that. Please review us, even if you don't like it. If you hate it, give us a 1-star. We'd love it.
Oh,
God, there's nothing I'd want more than a 1-star review from all of you. In fact, if all of you can go and give us a 1-star review on your respective platform, that'd be great.
Love seeing it.
Until next time, and then next episode will be up on Saturday after the Pistons game.
Yeah. I expect to win.
Get bucked up.
We should get a joke.
Do you have a joke for tonight?
No, but
Make one up right now. Go. John, you don't have time. There's no time.
Hold on. Give me a second.
We don't have time to think. That's not good podcasting.
Hold on.
I can't fill time for that long.
Let's do it for 20 seconds.
Do you want me to stop talking? I can't stop talking.
I can't think when you're talking.
Oh, yeah.
I can't think of how it goes.
Okay, well, see you later.